Don't be afraid. Hold on. You'll find your way.
Welcome to Growth Made Groovy, where we talk about everything from healing medicine music, working through life challenges,
and developing awareness and connections as we heal and grow along our journey. Hey everyone, I'm Caroline Rena.
And I'm Noel New.
And you are with us on
Growth Made
Groovy,
the podcast.
One day.
And welcome.
Yeah. Hope everybody's day is going as wonderfully.
Yes, wonderfully well. And through any trials or tribulations you may be having, that you're finding a moment to, feel good about yourself and your heart. Sometimes it's challenging, but it's just for a moment. It kind of can change your whole day.
Yeah, and that kind of leads us really into what we are going to talk about today, which is a song we wrote on February 4th with our third partner,
right, Irvin
Arthur.
You're talking about 2020.
2020, I'm sorry. Yes, this was 2020. Mm-hmm. Right before we went into needing to find our way.
That's right.
The name of the song is You'll Find Your Way, and it's actually the title song for the second EP that we produced.
That's correct.
This year, yeah.
And in 2020, You'll Find Your Way it's a 6-song EP, and with a full band backing studio production by the online recording studio with our producer Noyak Badirian, and it was a really fun project for sure. Yeah. And this song, I think it's like between when we wrote it and now, everything cycles. We talk about this all the time, but this kind of shows the cycles, how no matter what goes on, no matter what we go through, we will always find our way. At least that's the goal of this song. Yeah. You'll find your way. And we do, whether we are conscious of that or not, we're finding the way to somewhere. And so when we, connects with the choice of where we want to go, that's when we're in that state of, well-being, fulfillment, which is to me a real goal of life, to try to be in one moment at a time,
Yep. So you want to...
Yeah, without further ado, we will give you You'll Find Your Way.
Hold on, don't be afraid. Hold on, you'll find your way. Stuck in your head, screaming in the car, just trying to cope while rolling in the dark. Hands in the air 'cause nobody's there, and hoping that somebody will care. You may not know which way to go, feeling like all the doors are closed. Lift
Love, love, love.
That's
I think we
beautiful.
could start with like the musicality of that because it was like it started so differently when you wrote it. And then when all the extra pieces of instruments were added and the decision about the sounding like a choir, a church choir and all
Yeah.
that. I mean, it literally, the acoustic version sounds nothing like that, really. I mean, this is incredible the way
Oh yeah.
they were able to do that.
Well, and that's and I, when it started, I realized that, every episode starts with that because that's our, intro music and outro music.
Yeah.
And
here we are.
So you've already heard the beginning when
Yeah.
if you saw this episode from the beginning in our podcast, and then we use that little snippet and talk over it. But yeah, that was.
I didn't even think about that. That's crazy. All right.
Yep, yeah, the growth made groovy. But yeah, it was cool to be able to do that because to do it with a studio production, it just had the idea to do the layering and then come in with a harmony instead of just starting right off because it's harder to do that live. And then obviously we did probably like 6 or 7 layers of me, you, and Irvin on the choir part with "Hold On."
Mm-hmm. Like it really sounds like a church choir, like
Yeah,
20,
it was
30
fun.
people.
Yeah. No, it was really cool. So yeah, that was really one of the more fun songs to do together. And yeah, I remember writing it. Obviously, Irvin came over to the house and helped us write. He has a few key lines in there, but yeah, it really is a strong song. I like it.
Yeah, it started off in a kind of a interesting way, though. So getting into the first, so the lyric, the verse, stuck in your head, screaming in the car, just trying to cope while rolling in the dark, hands in the air because nobody's there, and hoping that somebody will care. So I'm going to start this one off because this was a great adventure with Noel and I. The whole thing started at the stuck in your head screaming in the car part where there was an opportunity for me to actually do this in a Trader Joe's parking lot one day.
Yeah, Trader Joe's.
And I asked him, I'm like, I thought I couldn't remember the name of the song. And then finally it hit me and he said, we both said it at the same time, turned it on. Rage Against the Machine was the perfect song because I was just going through something. I was sitting behind the steering wheel and we turned that music on. You're just sitting there holding my space and I'm just, screaming in the car and yelling. And I lost my voice probably for a week and a half or something after that one. It was pretty big. But yeah, I mean, that's so powerful to be able to let that stuff go. Because everything kind of gets stuck there, and we can't get out. And when we let that out in like what we saw last night in a TV show, Primal Scream, that's incredible. It really helps. And, when we're by ourselves and we're just trying to cope, it really feels like we're rolling around. We have no idea what's going on. And we feel so alone that we just wish that somebody would be there, So that's just a given when it comes to that kind of thing.
Yeah, and I mean it was very potent. But yeah, I remember when years ago working in a Gestalt group, I was doing that was the song to get myself anger because I couldn't let the anger up, and it was called "Bulls on Parade" by Rage Against the Machine. And it's really a powerful song. Anybody that knows it, it's like. And he's screaming, "Bulls on Parade." So it's fantastic. So yeah, you played it and you were, just gripping, just like, and you found, by the way, all the pictures and all that were courtesy of Miss Caroline Rena here for putting the video together.
Hey.
And you picked a nice picture on that with the woman screaming on her steering wheel in the car. It was a good play there. Well played.
Great reminder.
Yes.
Yeah.
And and so, right, stuck in your head screaming in the car. And I had that happen also years ago. I mean, it's happened since too, but the one that was more poignant was back in like 98, 99, starting my first, growth steps. And I was in the car just really frustrated and I just let it out, just screaming, shaking the steering wheel. And it really was a cathartic, relieving experience.
Yeah. Yeah. We wouldn't have come up with this song if we hadn't have done this.
Yeah.
Either one of us.
Right. And so just trying to cope while rolling in the dark. And that's what it feels like a lot of times for us out there, for all of us, that, like you said, it's dark and, just rolling around, trying to cope, figure things out. And hands in the air because nobody's there. So that could be like this and looking for somebody or reaching out like this, or it could be like this because nobody's there. And hoping that somebody will care, to connect with somebody when we feel really alone and lonely in our, difficulties and times of challenge. So it's a very poignant first verse.
And I noticed that a lot of times when I'm desperate to find somebody and I can't, like I reach out to people and nobody's available, then I've learned how to recognize that I have to self-soothe or help myself. And that's another part of the process. So it's kind of interesting how to work through all that stuff. But so the second verse is, you may not know which way to go, feeling like all the doors are closed. Lift up your head close to the sky, trusting yourself and you'll get by. So that's all part of the process. It's like in the beginning of something or while something is coming through, we have no idea what direction to turn in. We're kind of like in this void, in this stuck place that everything's just like falling on our heads and we don't know what to do. And doors aren't opening in that moment and it feels like crap. And it's just like you want to just self-implode or blow up or whatever. And it just processes that way initially and it doesn't feel good. I mean, it just doesn't feel good. And then at a point, you just kind of recognize the okayness of the situation, which is not easy to do, but it's important to do. And by lifting your head up to the sky, it just gives you that expansion and learning to trust yourself, like I said, to be able to take care of yourself. And then you'll get by. That's just part of that process. It's all process to me, but
exactly, and that's the whole point. And so, right, you may not know which way to go, feeling like all the doors are closed, which again, being stuck in that situation. But the lift up your head, and this was before we did the Tony Robbins over the summer of 2020. But he has that 1.5 inches, he calls it. So where you just your chest, normally we're like this, and our head's down, our chin's down. You lift up your head and then just bring your chest up, and it's more of a empowering and self growth move. And that's what the line is: lift up your head close to the sky, trust in yourself, and you'll get by because you're the one doing it. I mean, it's our life to live, and so if we don't even trust ourselves to do it, then whether some people come in our lives or not to help us, it won't be received. So it's trust in yourself.
Nobody can rescue us either. We're the ones that need to be able to save ourselves because it's our stuff,
Even if they put their hand out, if we're like this, I mean, they could try to like clamp us and pull us out, but we'll just pull them in. And by the way, somebody's trying to do that. It's called codependent. So they put the hand out, and then it's up to us to like reach back out, receive it, and then let them pull us back up. And so
they talk about that. They talk about that with people drowning, where if you try to grab them, they will grab you, like you said, and pull you down. Whereas if you just reach out and get them in a position, like reach out your hand and pull them that way, they're not going to drown you.
That's a great parable and truth, Yeah,
that's really important. And what you made me think of when you were saying about the Tony Robbins thing was you and I have a picture because we went through the course of both of us going like, just
screaming it out.
But we're looking up and letting go, and it was incredible. So that was nice. All right, so now this is the chorus. It's hold on, don't be afraid, things are getting better, living day by day. Hold on, you'll be okay, drinking in the love, baby, you'll find your way. That's it. I don't even know how to. So don't give up. Just don't give up, because the more you go, the more you release, the more you hold on to your, the movement forward. Don't hold on, grip to, what you have that's not feeling good, but hold on for the ride, basically. I think that's what that is. Don't be afraid of it. And they're going to get better every day, even every moment they get better. If you allow it to, if you sit with it, if you just, breathe, let it go. And just the drinking in the love is your own love and the love of, your higher power or nature or whatever that looks like for you. It's just drink that love into yourself and feel it and connect with it. And then eventually you will find your way. I'm not saying it's easy, but you will.
Yeah, that's the process. Yeah, and I agree. The hold on, because, there's hold on, there's let go. It's not hold on to attach to something. It's hold on to, keep trying, keep getting back up, and don't give up on yourself.
Yep.
Hold on. Don't be afraid, because obviously fear is going to be a big player in this, in life and in transitioning and changing and healing and growing. Things are getting better, living day by day, one day at a time, they are. It's chooses how we look at it, even during very challenging and tough times, which we went through, everybody went through in 2020. But, especially towards the end of the year, we wrote this at the beginning of the year and, lived up to it at the end of the year when things really got quite challenging, through, transition and grief and all kinds of things. And so,
and just to share what you did. I mean, we went through that process throughout that year, but it got to a point where I always usually share something kind of sort of that's happening with me. Like Friday, I was going through something and you were holding my space in that. And it wasn't the same. I wasn't like crashing in on myself fully. Like I used to just kind of dissociate and lose everything, all forms of consciousness or whatever. And this time it was like, I kept feeling back. I kept coming back to myself. I'd fall in and then I'd come back, and then I'd fall in and I'd come back. And you walked me through that. And the biggest thing that helped me, even though in the moment it was tricky, was the recording that from Sarah Blondin about being okay, where she talks about putting her hands on her little boy's face, who's like 4 years old, and just looking in his eyes and saying, "You're okay, you're okay, you're okay," and just remembering to say that to ourselves, to our little inner children who are freaking the F out because something is going on. And that shifted or started to shift. And the biggest thing that I noticed was, like, when you go through something like that and allow it to sit with it and walk with it, the next day it's different. It feels different. There's like an energy that's been moved or something. And when you get up, it's like, oh, and then you kind of start to realize, what's going on, what's happening. And then you move on with your life, and it just takes that away. I mean, that's what happened this weekend. And I was really roughing it on Friday, but now it doesn't feel the same, So I'm finding my way through that,
Exactly.
with a little help from my friend.
Yeah, exactly. And I mean, and that's all we can do for each other, one situation at a time.
Right.
But yeah, and I love the line "drinking in the love, baby," because I'm pretty sure that was Irvin's, one of his contributions there.
Yeah.
Hold on, you'll be okay. Drinking in the love, baby. So that means just like let it be, let it just let bask in the love.
Mm-hmm.
Drink it in. You'll find your way. So yeah, it's really, it changes from the verses, which are like connecting with how difficult it is and can be, and then coming into the solution, which is in the chorus.
Yep. And now I don't know what this next part is called. You have to tell me. That you're in charge of that part.
It's a bridge. Yeah.
That's a bridge. Okay, so bringing in a little love now.
Yeah.
Bringing in a little love now, a little tongue tie. Bringing in a little love now, forevermore, and repeating it. It's just to repeat what the drinking in the love, bring it, keep bringing it, keep bring it. I mean, because the love is what's going to get you through it. It's going to get you through anything. So just to remind yourself of that, remember that. And I think that's
almost like a mantra. I mean, really.
Yeah. And then somewhere in there, where did we do hold on? Was it the hold on after the bridge? The choir?
We do the bridge, and then we do, and it builds up, and they go forevermore, and then it goes into another chorus, the final chorus.
Right. Okay.
And then at the end, the outro, Hold on, you'll be okay.
Yeah. That's where the choir part comes in. So it just repeats the beginning. We just basically repeated the beginning, the intro, which doesn't show up in the, in the verses. And just to say, just hold on, you'll be okay. Hold on, you'll find your way. And then the choir behind it just, just come on, you can do this. You can do this. So yeah, we had a great time. We really had a great time putting this together. That was really awesome. Thank you, Irvin.
That's right. Irvin Zumbi Arthur, for his wonderful contribution again.
What a human being. Yeah.
That's right.
So
this song is really one of the more fun ones and uplifting and soul fulfilling. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Really, honestly.
Yeah, it just feels like it's an important song because so many people feel like they're lost. And this just says, you might feel like you're lost, but there is an option. There's options. There's things out there for you, for all of us, because we all go through it.
Exactly.
So,
and it doesn't matter where we are in our travels and our evolution, if you will, in the growth.
Healing journey. That's what the healing journey.
Exactly. Wherever we are, we still, it's sometimes, it gets challenging to the next level, till we can get to the, past or beyond through. The only way past is through the challenge of what's mostly just fear and grief.
Yeah.
But that's really a lot, I say that simply, and it's tremendous. A lot of people don't even know how or would even walk through that. So those of you that are walking through it now, whatever, this is the whole point, and we salute you, honor and respect that.
And we've talked, I had mentioned a couple of times, we mentioned this because this is one of my favorite things to as a visual. In climbing the mountain, it's not a straight shot up because that's really hard. You think that you're trying to climb this mountain, you go around it around the mountain until you get to the top, and till you get to the vista. There's always going to be a plateau. There's always going to be a part where you feel like you're getting stuck again, but you're really not, because you're looking at it from a different perspective. So each mountain you climb that's higher and higher and higher, it brings you more life, it brings you more energy, it brings you more power, it brings you more love, all of that stuff. So just keep climbing those mountains, I mean, that's all I can say. Just keep going, don't give up, be persistent.
No matter what, and all we can do it is in the moment, in this moment, whatever happened before this moment and whatever happens after this moment, this is the one we can make a choice in.
Yep. Yeah. So we always, send our love and blessings to you guys, and know you can handle it, or know you can do it. Just remember you can. That's the biggest piece. And even when you're in the middle of it, just remember I can make it through this.
That's right.
So,
it's like that little engine that could, instead of I think I can, just remember I can. You know what I mean? Because you can. We always can.
Yep. Yeah. So, all right. Well,
with that, so we hit episode 20, and we've gone through 20 songs. We have a few more, probably like 8 to 10 more, and we're going to take a little hiatus and work on some projects. Both have some projects in the works here individually, and kind of come back to this at a later date. But again, this has been a pleasure and a joy to connect with you, whoever's connecting on the other side. We connect with each other to connect with you, and please feel free to leave the comments and share whatever you need to with us, and but we will readdress it in the future after we get some things going for our own kind of personal developments
and growths.
Yeah, always
it's Ruby. Yeah. Yeah. So For reference, I mean, you can, if you want to connect with either one of us, you can find Noel at noelnew.com. You can find me, well, he's about to have a new website too soon. I'm not sure when that's coming out. That's something you need to let them.
About 2 weeks, but yeah, 2 weeks from today, which is the end, September 20th. So
okay.
by October 1st.
Yeah. Okay. And then mine's up. My new one's up, and it's completely different than it's been for any of you who've ever seen the old one. And, on mine, I've got a blog you can subscribe to and just follow, because what I have up there really is my own transformation, my own recreation of my life. So you can see that it's possible. If I can do it, anybody can do it.
That's right.
That's all I got to say.
The flight of the hummingbird. That's right.
Right. And so just, if you feel like you need to reach out to either one of us, easy names, easy websites.
That's right.
Yep.
And so in the meantime, much love to you today, now and always.
Yep. And thank you for being here.
Yep.
And we wish you the best, and we will reconvene hopefully in
the near future.
Okay.
Much love to you.
All right. Take care. Bye. Mwah.